You guys, we have to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. And I'm going to issue a spoiler warning just in case if someone hasn't watched this film. And I can't go into details about this film without spoiling something, so there's my spoiler warning. This film was unfortunately a bit of a letdown and a major step down, in my opinion, from the absolute banger that was Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. Starting it off, of course, I already feel the hurt, the pain for losing the GOAT, Nancy. But then, this film goes on to get rid of the characters that you were just getting used to, the characters you were just getting to know. And what do? They unalive them and dispatch them in such a quick, uncool way that made me question. They were able to defeat Freddy in the third film. They had powers within the dream realm. What happened to that? So I'm a little salty about that with this film. Kincaid should have stayed alive. I liked Kristen, but I was give or take with her. Kincaid and Joey should have remained on the cast. Now, because our three remaining survivors from Dream Warriors were unalived, we then had a new cast of characters that were having to deal with Freddy. I have nothing against Alice, but she is no Nancy, she is no Kristen. I unfortunately found her to be very bland, very boring. The side characters, you really didn't even get to care about them before they themselves were dispatched and unalived. So this film really has left me feeling mixed emotions, because even though it had, or it made those errors by getting rid of such beloved characters, or at least characters you were starting to like, it went on to then just give us mediocre characters. However, I will say, I can't critique a Nightmare on Elm Street film without giving props to the makeup department, to the set design. Absolutely, again, outstanding. I also have to give credit, and although I haven't given him credit in the previous reviews, he is such an icon, and it goes to show how much of an icon he is, because he recently just received his star on Hollywood Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken. That's where they're located. So Robert Englund, he is such an icon. He is so deserving. His performance as Freddy is top-notch. It has been one of my favorites of the slashers, and I can't continue reviewing the films without giving him some credit. Besides that, I will say I did enjoy when Alice and another character, Dan, were on their way to save one of the characters. I liked, because they had fallen asleep, I liked that Freddy kept them in the loop. That way they were unable to reach said character that they were trying to save. I think that was brilliant, that was smart. I'm surprised that they hadn't done that before in the other films, but very cool. The finale felt, I'm not gonna say it didn't feel earned. It just felt a little bland, I guess you can say. When Alice has everyone's, I guess, token, or as Freddy put it, their powers, I wish that they would have done something a little bit more with the characters that she was representing. Maybe having them in like ghost form so that they were behind her. I think that would have been a cool touch. But essentially they just had her having her brother's karate band, I think she had Debbie's, like, one of her bracelets and so forth. I will say that final confrontation in that church, chef's kiss, it was absolutely beautiful. I like the fact that they took it out of just being at Freddy's home or in the boiler room. I think adding the touch of a different environment for the final fight, I think it was beautiful. But besides that, again, I was a little bit let down by this film. And it's probably going to be rated low, at least compared to what I've watched as of right now. I don't know if it'll be the worst of the franchise, and I'm not going to go ahead and call it the worst of the franchise just yet. But as of right now, it is the bottom. You guys, I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Where does this film stand in your rankings? Let me know all that in the comments. And as always, you guys, thank you so much.